Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be doing some news. We are going to be talking about NYC potentially adopting Bitcoin in the next 18 months and how that might just bring about mainstream adoption for Bitcoin. The frontrunner of the mayoral election in New York City is none other than crypto-friendly Andrew Yang, and he has some proposals about how Bitcoin might become part of the future of the financial capital of the world. I hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. Good evening and good night to everybody who is here from around the world. Shout out to Patrick and Jonathan and Patrick again and Jack and O'Neill and Horseman and Trevor and Mattis and Jeffrey and Sergio and Twilight Disc and Jack and Smay, who is our researcher and moderator of this chat, and Anthony and Ernest and Trevor. Guys, welcome to the stream. We're going to give a couple minutes for everybody to jump on into the stream. And before we get to our New York City news, we are going to be talking about Mastercard, because just like Visa recently started to adopt Bitcoin as a payment system and to get involved in that cryptocurrency market, we are now seeing Mastercard do exactly the same. So we're going to start by talking about Mastercard. We're going to move in to New York City news and how Andrew Yang, the frontrunner of the mayoral election, who seems like he's going to win, wants to transform New York City into the crypto capital of the world. And then we're also going to be giving you an update on the mayor of Miami and what the mayor of Miami has been doing in regards to cryptocurrency. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago about how the mayor of Miami wants to bring about crypto payments and crypto adoption to his government. We're going to be talking about all of that and more in this stream. Welcome, everybody. We got some hashtag Yang Gang in chat. Give me a 1 in the chat if you like the thumbnail that we just made. We put a lot of thought into that. I thought that was pretty funny. As you guys know, COVID has definitely hurt New York City, and maybe Bitcoin will be the saving grace that it needs. Philip said, hi, Jeb. Hello, Philip. What up, bro? Hey, Shooter McGee. 1 from Dan B. Perfect. Hi from Portugal. Hello from America. Greetings from South Africa. Greetings from America, my friend. Good morning, Jen, said Jeffrey. Good morning, Jenry. What's a Yang? Andrew Yang. Hello, hello from Hungary. Hello, Hungary. Hungry? You mean like wanting to eat? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, have you ever seen that video of the woman that was playing America's Got Talent? And what's the capital of Hungary? Hungary? That's a country? Go look up that video. That's so funny. Guys, we're not going to spend too much time wasted here in the beginning. Going to give it another probably 30 to 60 seconds, letting people join on in, and we're going to jump straight on into the news, straight on into the fundamental analysis, and straight on into our predictions about where all of this news will bring Bitcoin. I'm looking forward to it. Get hyped. Greetings from Croatia. Greetings, Marco. Hi from Virginia. Hello, Alan. Budapest. Yes, it is Budapest. Hey from Dubai. Hello, Dubai. Hello from Greece. Hello, Greece. I love math. Make America think harder. Hi from Texas. Hello, Texas. I'm going to give it another 15 to 30 seconds or so, and we're going to jump on in. You should try tea instead of coffee. You'll find some of the best at the bottom of the Boston Harbor. Fair enough. Hello from Greenland. Hello, Greenland. Hello, Greenland. Wow, someone from Greenland. The population of Greenland's like 7, so we got like all of Greenland watching. We are simply saying that Yang is running for mayor and he has big plans for Bitcoin here. He does. Yes, no political opinions will be expressed in this stream, believe it or not. Anywho, without much further delay, let's go ahead and jump on into the news of Mastercard. Guys, there's quite a bit that we want to talk about here, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Mastercard announces support for crypto on its network. Mastercard will allow its almost 1 billion users to spend cryptocurrencies at more than 30 million merchants, although it hasn't specified which coins will be supported. Likely, of course, Bitcoin will be one of them. Mastercard has announced plans to support those cryptocurrencies in 2021, paving the way for its nearly 1 billion users to spend digital assets at more than 30 million merchants. The firm believes this may open up new merchants. This may open merchants to new customers and build loyalty with existing customers who are already migrating to digital assets over traditional fiat options. They are quoted as saying, "It's about choice. Mastercard isn't here to recommend you start using cryptocurrency, but we are here to enable customers, merchants, and businesses to move digital value." While the global payments giant noted it is planning to support stablecoins due to their reliability and security, Mastercard declined to name any specific cryptocurrencies it will integrate. However, Mastercard offered four core criteria by which it will be assessing prospective assets. I can't speak today, guys. Robust customer protections, including customer policy, including customer privacy and security, strict KYC compliance, adherence to local laws and regulations, and stability as a means of payment. So, guys, first things first, we have now seen both Visa and Mastercard, two of the big payments giants in our economy, move towards broad acceptance of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And that's really the overarching theme of this live stream here that you're going to see a lot of, is that we are seeing mass adoption starting today. The last 3 months or so, guys, I was talking about this in our planning meeting earlier this morning. It really feels like the last 3 months in cryptocurrency are the exposition of some movie where something crazy is going to happen, like the beginning of World War Z or the beginning of a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie. When the plot is being laid out in advance, you're understanding how things are fundamentally structured and how they're going to potentially come to a head later on in the film. I feel like the same thing is happening in crypto over the last 2 or 3 months. I get this feeling that we are in the middle of something that is starting. We're in the beginning of something, and to me, it feels like we're in the beginning of that phase of mass adoption. So, guys, I'm really excited that Mastercard is stepping into cryptocurrency payments. And, guys, I also want to talk about the way that we look at cryptocurrencies from this, because a lot of people look at cryptocurrencies as a form of long-term store of value. We look at them as digital gold versus digital currency. This is an argument that's been raging in cryptocurrencies for a very long time. Does Bitcoin offer itself as a payment system, as a currency, as something that we will transact in daily and we'll buy our coffee in daily? I got my coffee right here. Or does Bitcoin use its decentralized backed limited supply as a form of digital gold? Do we invest in Bitcoin in the long term for the sake of seeing compounding returns because of that scarcity, and we treat it as gold, as a hedge against inflation? Or do we start to treat it as a currency? So far, it has been not mass adopted, but the vast majority of its adoption has come from that scarcity component, that digital gold component, that inflationary hedging component. How much of that has come from people actually adopting it daily as a currency? Give me a 1 in chat if you were thinking about it being a digital currency that people use daily. Is that how you look at Bitcoin and how you use it? Or 2, do you invest in it for the long term as a store of value against inflation and invest in it for its scarcity? Which one of those camps do you fall into? Digital gold or digital currency? I'd love to hear it. But I think we need to understand that there are 2 different paths that Bitcoin can take, or they can simply take both of those paths. Bitcoin right now is very much a digital, scarce digital asset that people invest in for long-term store of value and inflationary hedging. I think most of those numbers are going to be 2s, not 1s. Not many of us are actually using Bitcoin on a daily basis as a currency. And look at how many 2s are coming into the chat right now. We see a lot of people saying, I am in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for storing value as inflationary hedging. A couple of people saying 1, a couple of people saying what I would say, which is 1 and 2. Guys, I will tell you from our perspective that pretty much all the Bitcoin we have, we hold. In fact, I've told you before, I have never sold Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies into US dollars and cashed it out. I've never really transacted in Bitcoin. I've only primarily invested in it. And the reason for that is because Bitcoin, quite frankly, is very volatile. I would rather hold on to my Bitcoin and pay in US dollars so that my Bitcoin can go up in value. But I think gradually, as we move over the next 10 to 12 years or so, we are going to see more and more people getting into cryptocurrency to use it as just that, a currency rather than a store of value and an inflationary hedge. Those are the 2 different ways you look at it. So this news, wrapping all this back together, is critical for that, because if people want to start using it as currency, number 1, they have to be willing to sell it, which a lot of people, all these 2s in chat, and myself included, would rather not sell it, which is called transacting with it, buying something with it. I would rather not sell my Bitcoin for a laptop. I would rather hold on to my Bitcoin for 10 years and invest in it. That's where all this new market capitalization is coming from. However, on the other hand, for Bitcoin to go to the scale that we think it will, $1 to $5 million, it can't just be digital gold. It also needs to be a digital payment system that people will use on the daily. And to do that, we need on-ramps. We need infrastructure that we can do that with, and this is where Visa and Mastercard come in. Guys, remember, the theme of this stream is mass adoption and how we're going to get there. Visa and Mastercard becoming proponents of Bitcoin, stepping into the space, is a big part of that. So that's the point I want to make with this, guys. I encourage you to go and look at the rest of this news here about Visa and Mastercard getting into the cryptocurrency space, because, guys, this is a big open door that we can use for adoption, where people are going to be able to see, okay, Visa and Mastercard getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Visa and Mastercard getting into cryptocurrencies means that, 1, I can trust it. We've talked about the trust component of cryptocurrencies before. But 2, it also means that people can start using Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as their daily driver, and they can start to actually transact with it daily. Just 3 years ago when I got into the cryptocurrency space, the only way that you could do this was by using something like 10x or another cryptocurrency payments remittances solution that you could use to actually transact at local merchants. Now you have Visa and Mastercard stepping into it. Huge, big deal. Totally think it's a big deal. What we're going to do here is we're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes just conversing with you guys, getting to know you guys, diving on into some chat, and then we're going to jump into this New York City news. I know you guys are really excited to hear about this. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We post 5 days a week, and we live stream 5 days a week also. I would love to see your smiling faces in some more of these streams. Before we get started, I do want to mention that we sell a course. It's called the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. It's linked in the description box down below. If you're interested in learning more about technical analysis, I would encourage you to check us out. And if you're a loyal fan of CT2A, we actually just launched an affiliate program. You can find our link to that affiliate program in our Instagram bio and our Twitter bio. Shoot us an email at cryptojeb@gmail.com if you are interested in becoming an affiliate for CT2A. Anyway, going to go ahead and read some chat, and then we're going to jump straight on into some news on New York City. So, any questions that you would like, now is the time to give them to me. And also, Smay will be helping to curate those questions. So, Smay, any good questions that you've seen over the last 10 minutes or so, let me know, and we will be happy to answer them. Jeb, you're the best, man. You saved me a bunch on that Cardano dip yesterday. Yeah, Greg, that's something we were talking about earlier in... that's something we talked about earlier in our planning meeting for this live stream, is we talked about Cardano is so overextended, it's ridiculous. New York City represent, defund Wall Street. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about Mayor de Blasio and the Republican running and Andrew Yang, all of that here in a minute. Make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Happy Chinese New Year, Year of the Ox. Yes, guys, that's another point that I want to bring up. We're not talking about specifically in this stream, but today is Chinese New Year. It's the Lunar New Year, and that does have potential implications on the cryptocurrency market. People have talked about that a lot, so I'm going to let you go and hear other people's take on that, but it's something that you should be aware of. I have 60% of one Bitcoin, and already that's how much I made in 2 years. Wow, good for you, my friend. Let's see. Let's see here. Any books you recommend for those wanting to learn more about crypto? Good question. This is a question I answer probably every other stream, so I should probably put a recommended books list together. One of the main ones for cryptocurrency is you need to look at the Bitcoin Standard by Saifedean Amos. That is the gold standard, or maybe I should say the Bitcoin Standard. See what I did there, because it's called the Bitcoin Standard for Bitcoin cryptocurrency books. Make sure you go and read that book. Smay said, Crypto Jeb, where do you see Cardano going? I know a lot of you guys have been asking about ADI Cardano. Good question. We will do more in-depth technical analysis on that this coming week. But if you want to see my take on Cardano, we actually did some extended technical analysis on Cardano yesterday in yesterday's Coffee and Crypto live stream. So consider watching that. We talked about that for almost 20 minutes in the middle of that stream. So go back and watch that. Smay is a chat curator, not a moderator. That's what I called him, I think, isn't it? Am I still working out? Lol. Yes, I did. I did legs yesterday, and my adductors are on fire. They hurt. Yeah, no, I did a lot of squats. Did a bunch of squats, squats. Guys, tell me in chat if you guys have your coffee, by the way. We're going to go here in chat for another 2 minutes or so, and then we're going to jump on into this news with Andrew Yang. Don't want to waste any more time. Good morning, everybody who just got here. Bull market by September? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see. Do I hate F2 Pool? No, I don't hate F2 Pool, guys. We talked about the news with F2 Pool selling their cryptocurrency. They have every single right to sell cryptocurrency, so long as they're not intentionally trying to manipulate the market. Zachary donated $5. Thank you so much. Mastercard taking Bitcoin and paying out dollars seems like a great way for them to acquire Bitcoin. Yeah. Seriously, I'm pretty sure that's what they're going for. Dasa, who's our producer, just said, for anyone that didn't listen to me in chat, I've been calling this Cardano for a long time. Listen to Dasa. Dasa, Smay said, okay, boomer, that's funny. Coffee is mandatory. Coffee is mandatory. We're going to go for another minute or so, and we're going to jump straight on into this news, guys, just so you know. Hey, Jeb, can you have a look at TD sequential on ETH and BTC on the weekly? It's massively overextended, Piotr. We talked about that in a stream about 2 weeks ago. I forget where it was, but yes, it is overextended. However, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, you look at the long-term technicals for Bitcoin, you're going to find that Bitcoin's rallies on the weekly chart in 2016 to 17 typically stay overextended on the weekly chart the entire duration of the bull market. It might be the weekly. I think I might be referencing the monthly, actually. I'll let you check into that. Look at the weekly and the monthly chart on Bitcoin on the BLX Brave New Coin Liquid Index chart, and you will see what we're talking about. Coffee from sun up to sundown. All right, guys. Good deal. We are going to go ahead and jump straight on into this news about Andrew Yang. And we are going to continue talking about that. Andrew Yang says he will transform New York City into a Bitcoin hub if elected mayor. Andrew Yang has plans for New York City that cryptocurrency users anywhere would find appealing. Andrew Yang, the Democratic Party frontrunner in a race to be New York's next mayor, said he would transform New York City into a hub for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, noting the city to be the world's financial capital, which it most certainly is, guys. New York City's, let me pause here for a second and just make a point. New York City alone, within the city limits of New York, has a larger GDP than something like the smallest 50 countries in the world. Think about that. New York City's GDP alone is huge. I'm going to check that real quick, actually. NYC GDP, what is that? New York City's gross domestic product, the entire city in its own right is $1.57 trillion. It is most certainly the financial capital of the world and definitely the financial capital of America. Definitely pay attention when he is talking about bringing crypto to a $1.5 trillion market. Andrew Yang, the Democratic Party frontrunner in a race to be New York's next mayor, said he would transform New York City into a hub for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, noting the city would be the world's financial capital. The former presidential candidate made the comment in a tweet earlier today, which drew a flurry of mixed reactions, with some proclaiming it to be a campaign-selling maneuver and others equating it to political. I can't say that on YouTube. The most unifying reaction, however, was the demand that Yang use his powers, if elected, to end the BIT license enacted by New York Department of Financial Services. Meltem Demirors, CSO of digital assets management company CoinShares, suggesting Yang would need to deal with both high taxes and the BIT license to make his plan a reality. Notice down here, he says, as mayor of New York City, the world's financial capital, I would invest in making the city a hub for BTC and other cryptocurrencies. Guys, this is huge. One thing you have to understand about Yang and about what's going on in New York City is Yang just ran for president. He didn't win, obviously, but he has a massive amount of traction and following right now because he ran for president. There are a lot of people that support him, especially in the cryptocurrency market. I'm sure you've heard his name before, and that is helping him to win this election. Right now, he's the front runner against the incumbent Mayor de Blasio, which is a very unpopular name right now, because another thing you need to know about what's going on in New York City is that New York City was hit very, very hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of people were very impacted, I'm going to say. I want to be careful with my words because YouTube likes to demonetize and take videos down if you talk about COVID. But the fact of the matter is there's a Republican running. It's New York City, almost certainly not going to win. The incumbent is very unpopular. Andrew Yang is likely to win because he is a presidential candidate with a lot of support inside of NYC and outside of NYC. He's running for mayor of a $1.57 trillion GDP city, the largest city in America. It's the financial capital of America in the same way LA is the cultural capital of America, and Houston is the big hat capital of America. New York City is the financial capital of America, and it leads America with how we deal with finances. If we see Andrew Yang step into a position of power like the mayor of New York City, we are going to see massive amounts of adoption coming to Bitcoin. And again, guys, remember, that's the theme of this stream, is mass adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. How does it happen? I'll tell you how it happens. It happens by things like this happening. It happens when Mastercard and Visa step into cryptocurrency. It happens when New York City starts to adopt Bitcoin and allows people to be paid in Bitcoin. It happens when the mayor of Miami starts paying his employees on his government staff salary in Bitcoin. It happens when these things continue to evolve, and it's something you need to pay close attention to. So that's the point I want to make on that. Andrew Yang is talking about getting invested in Bitcoin. And guys, one last point I want to make is that if this does happen and Andrew Yang does run and win, well, he's running, but if he wins as mayor of New York City, there's a very high likelihood that he's going to run for president again. And if Andrew Yang runs for president again after being the mayor of New York City, it's very possible that he could run for president, and it's very possible that he will win. He is, like you just said, a well-liked person. There's a lot of people that are behind him, not a lot of people that absolutely hate him. And guys, I encourage you to pay attention to this news. It is something that could change the future of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So there you go, guys. That's that news. I'm going to throw it back to chat now for a second. Any questions that you guys have, let me know. Anything you would like to know farther about this, let me know, and we will talk about it. Any questions, we will go ahead and cover. And by the way, this is not me endorsing Andrew Yang. I don't know enough about his policies to know whether or not I agree with him. This is not a political statement, but the fact of the matter is someone who is bullish on Bitcoin and very friendly towards Bitcoin adoption very well may be able to come and become the mayor of one of the largest cities on the planet, one of the most powerful cities on the planet. That's a big, big deal. Love your TA. Been a fan for a long time. Thanks. You convinced me to jump into crypto. Been the best decision of my life. Thank you. Thank you very much. Everyone hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Hashtag Yang Gang, people are saying. Someone said Yang is a socialist. He is one of the people being a proponent of UBI, Universal Basic Income. So, I mean, you could call it that. Sorry I'm late. Wife called me. You are not forgiven. We will never forgive you for being late. We will never forgive you. All right, guys. Any more questions that we are going to answer, and then we are going to continue on, and I'm going to update you with what's going on in Miami, because the mayor of Miami is very bullish on Bitcoin, something that you ought to know about. Will Tesla start Bitcoin mining? I doubt it. And the reason I doubt it is because Tesla has already kind of stepped out of their mission statement of bringing about a carbon neutral world by buying Bitcoin, which has a pretty big carbon footprint. I doubt they would do that. I live and work in New York City. New York City needs change. New York City very much does need change, guys. New York City has been hit very, very hard by the pandemic, and Bitcoin could be the thing that brings them back. All right, guys, we're going to jump on to some news about Miami and the mayor of Miami. But before we do, I do want to mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. It's the academy that we use to teach you everything you need to know about technical analysis. If you're interested, we have a link in the description box down below. And also, for any of our students in CT2A, if you're interested, we just launched an affiliate program for CT2A. And if you're interested in signing up for that, you can shoot us an email at cryptojeb@gmail.com, and there are application forms on our Instagram and our Twitter in our bios. So check us out there. Any final questions? And I will go ahead and answer them, and then we will continue. All right, good. Good deal, guys. Let's go ahead and keep going here. Let's go ahead and keep going. Miami Council supports mayor's move to offer city worker salaries in Bitcoin. This is a big adoption story, guys. The City Commission of Miami is now looking into the feasibility of allowing Miami residents to pay taxes and receive salaries in Bitcoin. That's insane. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez has proposed an official resolution that would see Bitcoin becoming an acceptable payment instrument in various parts of the city's administration. Announcing the news on Twitter, the mayor said the city commission has supported the resolution and is now taking the next steps. I want to thank the city of Miami commissioners for supporting my resolution, which directs a city manager after analysis to procure a vendor to be able to offer our employees to get a better percentage of their salary in Bitcoin, allowing our residents to pay for fees in Bitcoin. The resolution would also put a proposition before the state legislature that, if successful, would see Bitcoin as an acceptable investment for municipal funds. Suarez said, "It's wonderful to be a very crypto-forward city, and I want to thank my commissionary colleagues for allowing that to happen." Although the commission approved the resolution 4-1, it significantly reworded its original call. According to a February 11th report by Bloomberg, the commission only agreed to study the feasibility of these steps rather than taking action, as the original proposal reportedly suggested. So, guys, we see a massive city, a city with literally millions of people in it, wanting to accept Bitcoin. This is something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and it's something that I am still very excited about, because what it means is that one of the largest cities in cryptocurrency, one of the largest cities in the United States of America, could very well be on its way to mass adopting Bitcoin. Millions of people talking amongst themselves saying, "Hey, did you know that I can actually take my payment and my salary in Bitcoin? Hey, I'm actually taking 20% of my salary in Bitcoin because I'm really excited about the future of this project." Our city, our mayor, just adopted Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. That is incredible. That is a step in the right direction, and is one of those expositionary movements for the mass adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I really feel like we're in the first act of a massive movement on Bitcoin, and news stories like the ones that we just covered are the things that are going to drive us there. Guys, we're going to go ahead and answer some more comments and questions, and then we're going to wrap it out. Let's see here. What do you use to buy crypto? I personally use Coinbase. I personally buy my cryptocurrency through Coinbase, and then I store it on a Ledger Nano X. We're living in history. We are living in history. We most certainly are. The end of fiat currency, perhaps. It's going to take a while for that to happen, if that ever does happen. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. The way that I like to equate it, guys, think about this. You have notes on your phone, right? Of course you do. How many people still take notes on paper? How many people still journal with a pen and paper? Did the computer make paper obsolete? We still, we still use paper. They both exist in tandem, and that's my point, is that we're going to see something similar happen with crypto and fiat currencies. I don't think fiat currencies are just going to disappear. We are, however, going to see cryptocurrencies taking market share from them, and that is what we want to look for. Any questions? Jeb, you can't buy most tokens on Coinbase, though. You're right, you can. That's why I would also use Binance if I'm looking for smaller tokens. Bobby asked Ledger or Trezor. I personally use Ledger Nano X. That is what I use. I actually just bought a new one yesterday. Hi, Jeb. What top altcoins do you think won't survive the next bear market? XRP. I mean, none of them. I think they'll all survive. No, I'm kidding. Uber, Mastercard, and BNY adopting crypto. Do you think Apple will buy Bitcoin? I would be surprised if they don't buy Bitcoin in the next 12 months. Yeah, I do think that they will. I made a prediction a while ago that I think that Bitcoin will be adopted by at least 5 of the top 10 most valuable customer-facing companies before the next 24 months have elapsed. That's what I think. I definitely think that's going to happen. I think there's a very, very big potential for that. Is it possible to have too many alts? I feel like I'm spread too thin. Yes, it very much is possible to have too many alts. Diversification is a fine thing, but don't be too diversified because most of the cryptocurrencies suck. Most altcoins are trash. Be very careful. Make sure you're heavily weighted towards top 5 altcoins and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Polkadot and Cardano and some of these other big names. Thank you, Jeb. You're the best. Thank you, Lewis P. Tesla going to take Bitcoin to Mars? Yes. Thanks for the answer. Great video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Guys, it's going to be a short live stream here. We already covered everything we need to talk about. I don't want to waste any more of your time. We're actually going to wrap out the stream here. We will be recording another technical analysis video. Before I go, I want to ask you what you would like to see technical analysis done in today's video. What would you like me to analyze in the video that will be going out here in a few hours? Let me know, and I will go ahead and record that right after we finish this stream. What would you like to see? Jeb, have you looked into Internet of Things? Altcoin. Application. Forget what the A stands for. IoT stands for Internet of Things. IOTA uses the Tangle network. I'm not a big fan of the Tangle network. It's not a blockchain. It's not a cryptocurrency. And it also is nowhere near as valuable as it used to be. Sparkpoint, Polkadot, Algo, DOT, Ethereum, ETH, Voyager token, BNB, Reef, Sia Coin, Aldo. Probably going to go with some Ethereum technical analysis. I know you guys are interested in that. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's live stream. I apologize for me being so tired. It's been a very long week. We are going to come back hard next week. We have a lot of amazing things coming, and I'm really excited to share all of it with you. I cannot wait. Fraheimer just donated €5. Thank you so much for that. Oh, my gosh, guys. Anyway, I'm glad that you guys joined us today. Thank you so very much for joining us. Before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.